guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions. We are up to week number 228, would you believe? So we are doing reruns. For those people who don't watch my channel generally, we are doing reruns. We did the first 100 weeks, we did the second 100 weeks. We're doing a third lot of reruns, which is just really great as a reminder, or like if your stash is running low and things like that. So we are doing reruns. What are we making today? I'm checking on my iPad what I've called them. I called them double pocket tags. Double pocket tags. They're double pocket tags for your junk journals. And what you're going to need if you want to craft along. So I brought along a bunch of papers here. Now mine are all digitals, and I know I say this all the time. That's because I predominantly have digitals these days. You don't have to use digitals. You could use scrapbook paper and things like that. You could use book page. The only caveat that I would say there is I would recommend using thicker book page, or maybe doubling it up or something for, you know, more rigidity. But you know, anything kind of that you feel that you can get along with well. You're going to need, oh sorry, just a quick mention, my digitals that I've got here, these are printed on 230 GSM. It's photo quality paper, and it's 230, so it's much thicker than your general kind of, you know, photocopy paper. You're going to need some scissors. If you prefer to use a paper trimmer or anything, then of course use a paper trimmer. I like to use scissors. Maybe you will need a bone folder again if you like to use things like that. I'm going to use my scissor handles for squishing my bits down, and you will see, you know, what I mean by that when we come to do it. You're going to need some glue. Again, I'd like to use the Anita's tacky glue, and I've managed now to get some more, so I've got the Anita's tacky glue. And then an optional thing, I'm just going to put it in actually, would be a thumb hole punch. Now when I say a thumb hole punch, I mean in a circle punch. Now I've got a 1.5 here, but actually I think that's going to be too big for these. So I've also got a 1-inch circle punch, which I think is going to be better. So a 1-inch circle punch. Again, this is an optional thing, and you will see once we get making these what I'm talking about. So optional, and then aside from those types of things, then I like to just have my glue spreader, which I just use, you know, an old gift card or anything like that. Maybe a wipe. This is a dry wet wipe that I like to just use to smoosh the glue out. And that's kind of it really. And then if you want to decorate your pieces, you might like to have some distress oxide or distress ink or something with a blendy tool, and then you might like to have some bits and pieces to actually decorate the top of your tag pockets. Again, all optional, and you know, I like to kind of just decorate one while we're doing the video, but then on the whole I leave them plain to decorate as I come to use them. So let's have a look and see how we make these, and I will try and tell you the papers that I'm using as we go, providing I don't forget. So let's pull one in. And the only other thing that I would say is I'm going to try and use either what I've printed double-sided, so double-sided there, or the other ones I've coffee dyed the backs, and you will see again, you know, why that's kind of, you know, important to me. And I'm not necessarily saying that you guys necessarily want to have it double-sided, but if you don't like looking at white paper on the inside, then, you know, I'd recommend either double-sided or maybe coffee dyeing the inside. So I've got this paper here. Now this is from my Victorian Springtime kit, and I'm going to just trim it off. My printer's not printed borderless. I've had loads and loads of printer problems this week, and I will tell you about it shortly. You know, once we relax and have a catch up. But first of all, I'll just focus on the kind of tutorial element of the video. So going to just cut the borderless bits off, but I don't need to obviously do that for the whole thing. I'm going to do that once we've folded it in. So I'm going to use this section here. Now what you want to do is make a tag shape. So I'm just going to fold it in here. Now again, these don't have an exact measurement. I mean, nothing I make really does, because I just wing it, and they're all going to be slightly different probably. You're going to then trim it down, so I just trim it down here, you know, as best I can, kind of, so my two sides are the same size. like that. Obviously I'm not going to throw this away because I will probably be able to use that for something else at a later date. So let me put that to the side. Okay, now mine is, it's approximately 3.5 inches. Again, this is not a hard and fast thing. It's, you know, completely up to you how big you want to have yours. I'm going to cut the bottom off where the borderless part hadn't printed borderless. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it down. Now, again, no rules, you know, here at all. I'm just going to judge it by eye, sort of roughly how big or how tall I'd like to have it. Okay. Oh my goodness, completely wonky. Completely wonky there. So yeah, that's why a paper trimmer is probably better, but hey, I just don't get on with paper trimmers really. So that's my tag, and you can see why I like to have them obviously you know, double-sided or coffee-dyed, because when you open it up it's a little booklet and then you're going to see the inside. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to make some little pockets to put on the inside. Oh, I thought that might have been okay, but it's not really. So I'm going to pull in the little section that we, you know, had left over, and yeah, make the pockets from that, I think. Do I want to? Not got ideal bits left, but oh well, I think it will do. Okay, so let's just again cut that edge off. Okay, now obviously it's completely up to you how big you want your pockets or how tall you want them. So I'm kind of thinking maybe like that. Okay, so just going to take it down here. Now, I don't know what I've got left on the other side, but so that will then be a little pocket formed in here. So I'm just going to trim it down to the size that I want it, and then I can use this as a template to make another pocket for the other one. So okay, like that. Just trim off the non-borderless part like that. Okay, right. So I need to trim that down. It's still a little bit wide, but that's fine. So I just now need to pick what section of the paper I want to make the other pocket from. So I think probably just this portion here. So let's just pop that on there. Okay. Like that. And just decide which section do I want. I think probably this half actually. Yeah, okay, so actually no, I'm going yeah, right, so just going to trim this down. Now, like I said, it was actually a little bit wide for my tag, so I'm just going to trim it in slightly like that. Okay, so that's your two pieces there that you're going to use as your pockets. To be honest, I'm not really loving this one. Yeah, not going to use that, so I'm going to have to get something else in. Oh dear. Right, I don't seem to have any other here we go. Right, I'm going to use this because I've got this just do I want to use this? It's a bit of a shame, but yeah, so I'm just going to cut it down from here. Okay, so this is from the same kit. So just take that section. Okie dokie. Right. Let's just trim that in. Trim it across the top. Oops. Okay, right, let's have a look and see. Right, I made a terrible job of cutting, so I will be trimming this up in a second, but that's going to be my two little pockets inside my tag. Now, at this point, this is where I was talking about that, you know, you may or may not want to have thumb holes, so don't know whether it's going to want to punch through both of these together because they are quite thickish paper, like I said. So That was fine, absolutely fine. So yeah, so that's my pockets there. Now I'm going to glue them on and then I will trim them up because I've not made a very good job of those. So just take my glue, and at this point, you know, you could use a sewing machine. Again, I'm not going to use a sewing machine because I like to keep these, you know, as accessible as possible for the majority of people, and obviously not everybody's got access to a sewing machine, or, you know, maybe just don't like the thought of using a sewing machine with your, yeah, I'm gonna put it this way, with your paper, and that's, you know, that's understandable. So right, that's my first pocket, like that, and then my other pocket, oops, like that. Okay, so just then pop that down, ooh, like that. Right, that needs to come up a bit. Oh my goodness, I don't know why. I'm having obviously one of those awful clumsy days, so I apologise now in advance. I'm going to obviously be really just shoddy crafting today, and yeah, sometimes you just have days like that and there's just nothing you can do to improve it. It's obviously going to be one of those days, so yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Right, just a clumsy day. Just snip that. Okay, right, so that's my tag. Now obviously then what I want to do is I just want to cut some corners to make it look a little bit more tag like, otherwise it doesn't really. Oops, like that, like that. Aren't they just so gorgeous? And then of course, you know, you could ink this or, you know, however you like, but aren't they just such a pretty little tag? I'll just trim this off at the bottom because it's just overhanging slightly. And then to be honest, you can have it, you know, whichever way around you want, a left hand in, you know, opening, or a right hand opening. I've just made such a hash of this. It's, yeah, I can't apologise enough. I'm just having one of those clumsy days, and yeah, I suspect I'm going to be mucking this up left, right and centre, but obviously I don't want to not do the video because I'm having one of those days. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on regardless, and hopefully you guys will make a better job than I am. So that's all there is to them. They're a little bit fiddly, a little bit you know, of a few steps, but you know, they're not too bad. They're definitely doable. So I've got this is my Paris collection papers. So again, let's go for that the same. So I'm going to just fold it in half, well, not in half, sorry, fold it in half tag size. It's not in half paper wise, if you see what I mean. So like that, I'm just going to trim it down here on the edge. That's getting my tag base there. Okay, move this to one side, and then literally judge where you want to cut it down height wise. Now, do I want to go up here, or do I want to kind of cut in? I can't decide. I'm going to cut in, I think, at the bottom on this one. So yeah, let's do it about here. So I've kind of cut off the Eiffel Tower really, but that's fine. Oh, it's a bit short, but that's fine, you know, and hopefully this will demonstrate how any size will do. There's no rules. So for this one, I'm going to use this as one of my pockets straight away because actually it's tall enough and obviously it's the right width. So I'm just going to trim that down slightly because you want to have your pockets slightly narrower than the actual width of the tag, because if you have a little bit of a space here in the middle, they're not going to get damaged when you fold it. If you go right snug up to the fold, and you've got one here as well snug up to the fold, you're just going to kind of like have a little bit of a danger point where they're going to get a bit scrumpled. So I like to leave a bit of a space if I can. So I'm going to just take my little template for the pocket, pop it onto the paper like that, and then just, oops, like that. Okay, and again, thumb hole optional, but I'm going to put a thumb hole in. So as it happens, my punch is, you know, oops, pretty good and is going through both the papers. But again, you know, double check whether yours does, because, you know, I've had lots in the past that wouldn't have done this. Okay, and then those can go on there like that. Now, again, I have made a bit of a hash of this, but that's fine. I can trim it down once they're on there. So I'm just going to trim this down slightly actually now. Okay, so pop this down. You're just gluing obviously on the 3 sides. I'm so sorry if you can hear noise. Again, I don't know what they're doing out there. Don't know whether they're drilling or I don't know. I can't see anything. Even though it sounds like it's really close. I mean, it sounds like it's practically outside my house, but yeah, I don't know what they're doing out there. So I just apologise for any noise and hope it's not kind of too intrusive and that you can still hear over it. I mean, hopefully they're only doing it intermittently. They're obviously stopping every now and then, so hopefully it's not too bad. But it's just one of those things. And obviously, you know, when you've got the windows open, you know, the outside noises do tend to obviously come in, so I just apologise for that. Right, there we go. Okay, so again, put that there. I mean, I need to now trim mine up because, like I said, not made a very good job of cutting, especially today. So I can just trim that now at the bottom. I mean, personally, I just find this easier than using a paper trimmer. I mean, I don't have a paper trimmer. You know, through choice, I've thrown it out. You know, I have had them over the years, you know, over the time. But yeah, I just can't get on with them. I find them very clunky and big and oh, I can't be doing with dragging a paper trimmer in. So, yeah, for me, I'd rather have to trim up and tidy up my pieces than actually try and mess about with a paper trimmer. So there we go. And then just again, take your corners. You can use that trick where you then flip it over and then do your other corner like that. Okay. So aren't they just so gorgeous? So, and obviously, you know, these are a pocket in themselves. Well, 2 pockets. So it would be up to you really whether you would, you know, perhaps paperclip these into a journal or pop them into a pocket, or actually glue that onto the page and have it as a, you know, a pocket in itself, because obviously it's, you know, it's pretty nice as a pocket in itself. Just need to trim that up again. Looked very wonky there. So that's all there is to them. So we're going to just have now a nice time relaxing and mass making a bunch of these in assembly line style. And again, for those people who don't watch, assembly line, you know, as we like to do it, is kind of doing all the stages at once. So maybe all the folding, all the cutting, all the, you know, making the pockets, all the gluing the pockets down, all in one sort of batch, so that it's really nice and efficient. So and we'll just relax and have a lovely catch up for the next kind of, yeah, 45 minutes or so. So I hope everybody's week has started out well. This is, I think this is my Butterfly Beauties. I think it is called. I have 2 which are quite similar and I can't quite remember which is which. There we go. Yeah, I need to just fold this in. So yes, I hope everybody's week has started out well, and I know I talk about this all the time, or say this all the time, but I'm filming this on the Monday to go up for you guys on the Tuesday. That's how I kind of generally like to do them. So obviously my week's only just started out now. Oh, finally our summer has arrived. So we had lovely weather a couple of weeks ago. Then last week, I have to say, it seemed to go completely, well, who knows what was going on with the summer last week. It was kind of like hit or miss, you know, whether it was kind of back to summer or not. So I'm going to just trim this down here at the bottom, I think. Yeah, it went out the window and we had all manner of different weathers last week. It was very, very strange. I mean, on the whole, it was kind of warm, but there were a couple of days where I went out in sort of a summer dress, and I have to say was then freezing. So it was, yeah, very hit or miss. Oh, I must remember that we're assembly lining these, because I went to actually make the whole thing. So yeah, you know, best laid plans and all that. It's easy to not end up assembly line style in making. Just going to do that so that I just snip this edge off, because I just want to have this center section. Okay, I think this paper is, I think from my, oh, I think it's the large birdhouses, I think, but I could be wrong there. I'm so sorry. Just got suddenly just a complete memory blank, but I really love this paper, and I have to say I've used it so much. Yeah, it's turning out to be one of my favorites, so I do apologize that I can't remember what it's from, but yeah, anyway, so the weather, very strange last week, but today, oh my goodness, it's boiling. So it was boiling yesterday, absolutely stifling. Just going to cut this off down here. Absolutely stifling. And yeah, decided stupidly really to go to the beach. So I mean, we are probably about 8 miles from the beach, you know, give or take. And yep, Natalie, you know, who obviously kind of works with me, she lives right near the beach. So she's, I mean, the beach, you know, we go to, she's maybe like 1.5 miles from. But there's another beach that she's like really close to, like literally a couple of minutes away. But we don't tend to go to that one. So anyway, she's literally down the road to the beach. But so I said to her, yeah, you know, let's do the beach on Sunday. So I wanted to get some work done first. So, you know, I generally tend to kind of work on a Sunday because I don't go to the gym or anything. It's my day off exercise. And I just try and like, you know, do some work really. So I said to her, you know, we'll come down and we'll pick you up at like, say 1 o'clock. Now I should have really kind of thought of that really when I said that, because obviously that was quite late in the day, but obviously I wanted to, you know, be able to do some work, and B, the traffic gets really, really, really bad coming down to the beach here. It's a very, very popular beach here in the UK, and people come from miles and miles to come to this beach. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. So we are very lucky. Oh, this is my documents papers, by the way, the document. It's not the documents collection, but there's some document headers, I think now. And then this one here, this is the mauve papers. So I'm just going to, again, just fold this in like this. Obviously, I need to factor in the fact that that's got the border that will be cut off. So anyway, yeah, we are very, very lucky to have that beach on our doorstep, because like I say, people travel from miles and miles to come and, you know, spend the day at that beach. And to be honest, they've kind of now made it very complicated since COVID. You know, you kind of like, I mean, have to book your parking and all this kind of stuff. It's not as complicated as in COVID, where it was, you know, really bad, but they have, you know, they've changed the system and yeah, made it all very complicated. So, you know, kind of like if people set out, they've probably booked their parking and paid for it. So, you know, if the traffic was like really bad, whereas before they might have then turned around after a while and thought, oh, I won't bother. Well, no one's going to do that now, because they've obviously paid for their parking, which of course, fair enough, you know, you would make sure you went, wouldn't you? Anyway, so subsequently, oh my goodness, I mean, the traffic's always been a nightmare, you know, on a hot day to get to that beach. Oh my gosh, my cutting is dreadful today. I'm so sorry about this. Yeah, I mean, it's always been a nightmare getting to that beach, but oh my goodness, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And obviously before, you know, like if you were local, did I say this is called the mauve? These papers, and you get a page of tags and things as well, which is quite nice to play with. This is my vintage Victorian, which I really love these papers, so yeah, I thought this would be really nice. Oh, what was I saying? Gone out of my head completely. Where was I? What was I saying? Who knows? I've no idea what I was saying, what part I was up to. Anyway, cut a long story short. So we thought we would go to the beach yesterday. It was, I think my car said 26. I think in some places it was like 27. It was very, 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 very hot. It would have been far too hot to sit out in the garden because my garden's very small, so there's no breeze or anything. It's just a complete sun trap, you know, which, I mean, I love, to be honest. But if the weather is, say, like 20 outside, my garden's maybe like 25, so it's great. If the weather's 28 outside, it's going to be like 30 odd in the garden. So it's kind of then too hot to sit out. So, you know, it's great, but it has a sort of cut off where then it's like, oh no, it's too hot to sit out there. So yesterday would have been too hot to sit out in the garden. Anyway, so we set off to the beach. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So we used to know like sort of an alternative route to get down to the beach. So if the traffic was terrible, we would go what's known as like the back roads and be able to get there, you know, relatively easily. Well, of course, since SatNav, everybody now knows the back roads. So there's no such thing as a sort of, you know, quick sort of, you know, cheats way down there. Because, of course, everybody knows those routes. You know, the SatNav's redirecting people. And therefore, the back roads are also snarled up. So, first of all, we sat in traffic for half an hour. Literally didn't really move. So, you know, this is, you know, 1 mile from my house. So then I FaceTimed my sister and said, oh, you know, we're going to try an alternative route. Oh, my goodness. We went all around the houses. We were, you know, I mean, we were still stuck in the town where I live, you know, not nearly at the beach or anything. We hadn't even left the town where I live. And we just were kind of like, we couldn't get out. Everywhere was just gridlocked. Anyway, so eventually we went to another roundabout and we went across there, which on the surface, I mean, it was a bit snarled up getting onto the roundabout, but the actual roundabout was clear. Oh, sorry, this is my documents, collection papers. And then when we got across there, sure enough, it was again bumper to bumper, more bumper to bumper traffic. This is my new damask, the new pale damask collection. So, yeah. Anyway, when we got across there, you know, across the roundabout, straight away, we were just sat again in a traffic jam. And, I mean, it was moving, so it was doing about maybe 7 miles an hour, which was preferable to the traffic jam we were in before, which literally was just gridlocked and not moving at all. But literally bumper to bumper, 7 miles an hour. And that must have continued for, well, I don't know, several miles anyway. So it was very annoying. And then we finally turned off and had sort of a clearer run down one of the roads. But it ended up taking us, I mean, I can probably get to the beach in like 16 minutes, something like that, you know, on a good day. Took us an hour and a half to get there. It was crazy. Anyway, we finally did get there, which was brilliant. You know, because at one point I had said to my daughter, I don't think we can go, you know, we can't get there. And of course she was, oh, I really wanted to go. And so I said, oh, okay, let's see, you know. So, yeah, but I said to her, oh, gosh, you do realise we've got to get back to our house yet. So we may be stuck in this again. Anyway, thankfully, we left by about, I think we left at like 4:30. And so we obviously missed the bulk of the traffic. We were only down the beach a couple of hours. And, yeah, so we did miss a lot of traffic and we did manage to get back in about half an hour. So it was fine. Right, this is my bunch of tags. I will probably kind of like stop there because, to be honest, otherwise I'm probably being over ambitious thinking I'm going to, you know, make so many of these. So I'm going to cut the pocket pieces now. So unfortunately, a lot of these, they're too small really, these little species. No, not species. Pieces, they're too small. So I'll just keep those for something else, you know, maybe we'll make some paper clips or something like that with those. And I'll just pull in instead the, you know, like the off-cut pieces that we cut from the paper. And I probably use those. I mean, again, you don't have to use the same paper, but you know, sometimes it's nice and also just easy, you know, rather than trying to find other papers that perhaps coordinate. It's kind of easy just to use the ones that, you know, are definitely the right papers, if you see what I mean. So just using that same mass assembly line style, I'm just going to sort of trim them down together. And then don't forget, you know, we're going to kind of glue these after the event. So just pop them there like that, and then just, yeah. Okay. Like that. And then I'll do all the thumb holes at the same time in a minute as well. So just pop those into the centres. Anyway, we had a nice time once we got down there. I'm just going to quickly finish my tea. Sorry about that. I just wanted to quickly finish that so that it was then off the desk and done with. So yeah, we had a nice time once we got down there. So, you know, it was fine. But oh my goodness, yes, it was so hot. I mean, to be fair, from that point of view, we definitely made the right call going to the beach, because anywhere else it would have been stifling, you know, absolutely stifling. So yeah, was pleased that we did decide to go to the beach, because you know, I can't think really where else we could have actually gone. Just trying to fathom out how to do this. Can't think of really anywhere else that we could have gone that would have been cool enough to actually do anything, because the beach obviously had a little bit of a breeze, which just made it bearable. You know, without that breeze, to be honest, it was unbearable. I'll be truthful. So yeah, it was nice. There we go. Now, obviously I'm going to have that sideways on, which not ideal really, but never mind. So yeah, I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'll just kind of cut it there, I think. Anyway, so yeah, that was yesterday. But today, I don't know how true this is. Somebody had said to me it was going to get up to 34. I mean, that's absolutely stifling here in the UK. We're absolutely rubbish. We're never geared up for anything, to be honest. You know, we struggle in any weather whatsoever. And of course, we struggle now. We struggle in the summer. Nowhere really is air conditioned. I mean, shops are air conditioned. I mean, not all of them, but you know, supermarkets and things, they're all air conditioned. But I mean, of course, people's houses aren't air conditioned or anything like that. So, you know, going to bed at night and things like that, it's so hot. It's literally kind of unbearable, to be honest. So yeah, it's sort of a struggle really, I suppose, like when it gets too hot here, I think. I mean, people's cars do have air conditioning these days and things like that, so you know, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, definitely we're not geared up, you know, for the hot weather. I mean, like I said, we're not really geared up for anything. You know, we don't seem to be able to cope with any types of weathers. But yeah, when it's hot here, it's really hard to get away from the heat. You know, when you're on holiday sometimes in other countries, you know, that are sort of used to hotter climes all the time, you know, they have air conditioning like everywhere you go, and then that's great, isn't it? But I mean, obviously, when you don't have air conditioning and you're then not really used to the heat, you know, it's kind of hard to cope with, I think. So yeah, it was really hot when I went to bed last night. So oh, I just quickly jumped in the shower for like 2 seconds, like, you know, to just cool myself down, and then just didn't bother drying myself. You know, it was a sort of cold shower, and then I got out and just like wandered round to my bed, you know, dripping everywhere. But you know, I just needed to kind of have that bit of a refresh really, and there was no point drying myself, because of course then all I'm going to do is, you know, take off the refreshing coolness of the water. So yeah, I just left myself all dripping. But oh, it was really hot. And then of course I just slept with like a sheet, but even just with the sheet, it was still pretty boiling, to be honest. You know, I mean, I kind of slept like with the sheet, keep kicking it off, and you know, I mean, yeah, weirdly enough, Bo you know, she loves to burrow under my covers, and I know I've talked about this all the time. The strange thing is, she still likes to do that, even when it's really hot. So, yeah, I mean, at one point, she buried herself under my duvet. Now, I really feel the cold. So, I mean, I have a 15 tog duvet. And she's burrowed under there in this phenomenally hot weather. So she must have been hot. I mean, she obviously, you know, she didn't stay under there, but she stayed under there for quite a while, you know, like during the evening, like before my shower. And I just thought, wow, she must be absolutely stifling. But, I mean, she didn't seem to kind of be, yeah, too aware of it, to be honest. But, I mean, she must have got hot, I assume, in the end. But, yeah. Obviously, she's got more stamina than I have when it comes to tolerating the heat, because there's no way I could have been under that 15 tog duvet in that heat. So that's that one. Okie dokie. I'm just wondering whether I might be able to... Oh, I was thinking I could mix and match it with this, but cut this a bit wide unless I cut it down a bit. I wonder if I could just take it down a bit in terms of width. Oh, just messing this up, aren't I? Yep. Just come down a bit more. There we go. So, yeah, that was the highlight of the weekend, to be honest. We didn't really do anything else. Saturday, I can't even remember what we did. Yeah, I literally can't remember actually what we did on Saturday. It can't have been anything exciting whatsoever. I think the weather was not so good on Saturday. Do you know, I've just got literally a complete blank. I actually couldn't tell you at all what we did. Which, I mean, how weird is that? To actually have no recollection of what you've done on the Saturday. I mean, that's terrible, isn't it? It's one thing having a bad memory, but to have no recollection whatsoever is actually really bad. Oh, I've just remembered, yes. So my daughter had a party. She went to a party on Saturday. So, yes. So, yeah, it was strange weather, to be honest. So I'd gone to the gym, and then I went for coffee with my gym friends. You know, my son also came along. And then, yeah, he was going out with his friend, and then my daughter was going to this party. So I quickly came home from the gym. We had to do a quick emergency run to the shops to buy a present for her friend. And then... Oh, so this one, I wonder whether we could have these document collection. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look gorgeous? Yeah, we had to do a quick emergency, you know, buying a present for her to take to the party. So obviously got back from the gym, quickly showered and stuff. And then we went and bought the present for her to take to the party. Oh, had quite fun doing that. We bought loads of... you know, I think I've talked about this, well, I know I've talked about this before, but my daughter and all her friends, they're really into, like, skincare and all this stuff, you know, like, just constant messing about with water, really. But anyway, so, yeah, we went and we bought loads of, I don't know, different, like, products, like, sort of, I don't know, some bath bombs and, you know, what do you call it? Bubble bath, all that kind of stuff, you know, face masks. We bought some body glitter and all these different things. So, and obviously my daughter was like, yeah, she'll love that, you know. Oh, yep. So, you know, I'm probably would have failed miserably, but yeah, my daughter was like, oh no, that's the thing to buy, you know. Oh, she'll like that, you know. So yeah, we bought all of those kinds of things. So yeah, hopefully she liked those. But so my daughter went there. I went on a picnic with a friend of mine, and then obviously then it was time to pick my daughter up from the party, and that was it. And then I just worked on Saturday night, just, yeah, doing some work whilst I was in bed watching a movie. So I just kind of, yeah, I actually took this whole craft mat into my bedroom and had it on my lap like a tray and just kind of crafted, you know, whilst watching a movie. So I can't remember what movie I watched, so I do apologise for that. Last night I watched a really strange thing. What was that called? It was on Netflix. It was one of the recommended things, you know, in the top 10. And it was with Julia Roberts. Yeah, I can't remember, I'm afraid, what it was called. But it was such a weird film. And such a peculiar film for Julia Roberts to be in. So, oops, hold on 2 seconds. Hang on. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. So, yeah, it was just my mum and dad. Right, okay, so I've put all the pockets, like, kind of there ready. So I'm going to now just punch the thumb holes. Now, like I say, the thumb holes are optional. You know, so you might not even want to do the thumb holes, but I'm thinking they're quite cute. So just going to do thumb holes in mine. Okay, I don't think I did those in the centre either. Oh my goodness, my crafting's getting literally worse by the minute. There we go. Yeah, so anyway, I was talking about the Julia Roberts thing. So that was very strange, to be honest, whatever it was called. So yeah, I mean, you know, wasn't good, wasn't bad. It was, you know, strange, I thought. So I don't think there's really anything on at the cinema. Right, now I'm just need to check I don't go through this bird's head. I mean, it's quite low down, to be honest, on there. I'd have to go right down to get to his head, but just in case, be on the safe side. Okay. Yeah, other than that, there's nothing on at the cinema, so we haven't done that. I don't think we've really done an awful lot at all. Yeah, I mean, obviously brilliant to be able to kind of like go and, you know, sunbathe yesterday at the beach, and, you know, hopefully later might be able to go in the garden, unless it's too hot to go in there or out there, in which case we won't. There we go. Trying really hard to be a healthy eater. Yeah, I know that joke again, but oh, it's really hard, isn't it, in the summer? Because I mean, I do hear some people say that they're not as hungry in the summer. Personally, nothing ever seems to, you know, affect whether I'm hungry or not. I'm, you know, just the same, whether it's hot, cold, or whatever. But I do love ice cream and things like that, so I do find it a bit of a struggle in the summer, when of course, you know, you're hot and, you know, ice cream is so inviting, you know. So yeah, trying to be a healthy eater but struggling. That being said, it is very easy to just have salad for dinner all the time, which A, isn't that great because it's so quick and easy, and B, you know, I mean, it's lovely, isn't it? I love salad. So you know, yeah, we have been quite good, you know, having lots of salads and things like that. So I'm trying to have a bit more protein at the moment, because I don't think I really have a great deal of protein, to be honest, you know, if I'm truthful. And the main protein that I do have is in the form of probably peanut butter and, you know, nuts and things, which, I mean, I know they're good fats, but obviously they are still fats. So I'm trying to have quite a few, like, egg whites. Luckily for me, I don't really like the yolks anyway, to be honest. So I've just been doing like hard-boiled eggs, and then just I throw the yolk away, or sometimes I give it to Bo. Obviously I don't want her to put on loads of weight either, so yeah, quite often I'll just throw it away, and I just have like the egg whites as a hard-boiled egg, which, you know, like I say, luckily for me, that's the part that I actually really like, is the egg white anyway. So yeah, been doing that quite a bit. Oops. And been having obviously smoothies and things like that. So, and that's fine, isn't it? You know, because they're obviously, well, I mean, I say they're good for you. I mean, they, of course, they are good for you, but they can also be quite fattening, can't they, if you're not sort of too careful. So, yeah, you do need to be a little bit careful, I suppose, depending on what you put in them. I mean, I do always put some, you know, like a banana for some sweetness, and then if I've got some, I try and put frozen mango chunks in, and then generally I have like some frozen spinach and some cucumber is, you know, how I quite like to have them. And then, of course, I have to then sweeten it right up with loads of honey, which probably takes all the goodness out of it. I don't think, you know, I mean, honey's not too bad, is it? But having said that, I mean, I probably could do with cutting down with the volume that I have of honey. There we go. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay, right, a couple more. Trying to think. I literally have got just like a complete memory blank. I'm so sorry. Like, because it's the summer holidays, everything's a bit of a sort of blur, to be honest. Every day just merges in, and it's, yeah, it's quite hard to sort of concentrate and focus, I find. But you know, yeah. Ah, right, the Tagtastic giveaway. So I will be filming an updated giveaway video. I'm so sorry I did not get round to that last week. You know, again, because it was summer holidays and things, I couldn't focus to concentrate to actually do the video, because I needed to kind of look through and really figure out what, you know, what I needed to do. So I will be doing another video giving the details for the giveaway. I haven't forgotten it, so please don't think that, you know, it's suddenly gone out the window. It will be coming. And whilst I'm talking about things like that, I just want to say a massive thank you to anybody who's made a purchase, you know, either on my Etsy shop this week, or obviously on my Shabbydabbydoodah website. I really do appreciate it. You know, I really could not do this without you guys' support, you know, because obviously, you know, this is how I'm now, you know, trying to earn my living and pay my bills. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody who did make a purchase. That was really, really appreciated. And yeah, I hope that you all enjoy anything that you purchased. Natalie does the posting for me, and obviously being summer holidays, she also works, you know, a part-time job somewhere else. So, you know, she generally only comes to me like, you know, a morning a week. But she last week had to work all week, so she didn't come. Hopefully she will be coming this week, and she will obviously post out all the orders. But at the moment, obviously she didn't manage to get to me last week, so yeah, I do apologize for that. But yeah, hopefully she'll be coming this week. I mean, obviously it's difficult as well, so she brings her son, and then, you know, we try and get her son and my daughter to just sort of hang out or play, or, you know, they probably wouldn't appreciate us saying play anymore, but yeah, hang out and do something, which sometimes works out, sometimes it doesn't. You know, sometimes they're falling out and not having a good time together, sometimes they're okay. So yeah, it's kind of just one of those things. But yeah, so hopefully she'll come at probably Thursday. She tries to come normally, but like I say, whether she will come on Thursday or it might be a different day this week, we shall see. But hopefully she will be with me soon, and then she'll be posting out all the orders. So thank you so much to everyone who did place an order, and I really hope that you love, you know, love anything that you did order when you receive it. So yeah, and like I say, yeah, massive thank you to anybody who purchased on my Etsy shop as well. So much appreciated, thank you. There we go. I mean, I can't believe, to be honest, how quick this year is flying by. Again, you know, just crazy, you know, to think. I mean, I'm trying to think of, you know, autumn kits and things like that. Again, because it's the summer holidays, I just cannot focus to, you know, actually, yeah, create things like that. And, oh, it's annoying to say the least, but I can't believe I'm even thinking about autumn type stuff. It just seems like crazy. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So yes, my printer. Oh my goodness. So I had to purchase a new printer a couple of months ago. because my printer just, it was not working at all, and it was out of warranty, you know. So I'd had it for quite a while, and definitely, you know, I'd overworked it, let's just say. So I thought, well, okay, I'll get a new printer. Oh my gosh, what a mistake that has turned out to be. It's just been a nightmare. I literally have barely been able to print anything now for about, well, ever since I bought it, basically, plus the couple of weeks before then that my other printer was broken. Which of course is pretty inconvenient when you're kind of, you know, reliant on that for your work and your job. I spent 2 hours on the phone, 2 hours to HP support on, I don't know, Thursday, something like that, last week. The guy was brilliant, and I thought he'd sorted the problem out. It was all to do with, couldn't get the printer to print borderless, and then couldn't reselect different papers, because they've made the paper, the printer now so sophisticated that, you know, kind of before I would just try and bodge it by saying I was using, say, a presentation paper, when really perhaps I was using just copy paper, and that's how I would get it to print borderless. Suddenly that wouldn't work now, because the printer's so sophisticated. It now knows if you're just using copy paper and you're not really using presentation paper. So I said to the guy on the phone, well, you know, that's fine and very clever that the printer can do that, but that's rendering the printer useless, because, you know, I print borderless all the time, literally everything I print. So without the borderless function, the printer is like completely redundant, you know. So anyway, he sat on the phone for a really long time, 2 hours, like I say, and I thought he'd sorted it out. He'd kind of like, you know, bodged the printer basically to think it was a different printer type. So I couldn't believe it. I was so thrilled, and, you know, couldn't thank him enough. You know, thought he was fantastic because he'd sorted it out. Well, gradually over the weekend, the printer has, well, come up with one problem after another. So, you know, when I was trying to work the other day and then was printing things off, it, you know, first of all was having a bunch of error messages. I had to keep powering the printer down. You know, it wasn't printing anything at all. Then it was doing other things. And now this morning, guess what? It's gone back to the original problem. It is so frustrating. I literally could scream, to be honest, because, you know, when you think that you've got something sorted and it had taken such a long time, and I, you know, I did say to the guy, you know, this is really valuable time, especially during the summer holidays, because, you know, I'm not really able to kind of work a full day. You know, if I'm not working, I'm not kind of obviously earning any money. And now I've spent 2 hours on the phone trying to sort the printer out. And now, lo and behold, 3 days later, the problem's back. Oh, so I'm going to have to now waste another bunch of time phoning HP again and trying to get it sorted out again. It's driving me potty. So I think what I'm going to have to do is actually just say, look, this printer is not, you know, a good fit for me. You know, I need to have it exchanged really for a different printer, because, you know, you can't keep a printer that's not usable. So, you know, and obviously when you purchase it, it doesn't tell you that the printer's like so smart that it's not going to let you do what all your other printers have always let you do. So, you know, we'll see how I get on, but oh, it's so annoying. I mean, obviously I subscribe to like the, you know, the maximum pages per month to print. And so far I've had 2 shipments of ink. I mean, you know, I think the maximum is something like 1,700 pages a month. And I've had 2 shipments of ink in 2.5 months. So that's how little I've been able to print, you know, compared to my 1,700 pages that I would, you know, ordinarily be at least trying to print. And it's so frustrating that now I've just come to the point I'm just kind of like, you know, avoiding doing anything like that. But things like, say, making my autumn kit, if I don't get it sorted out, that's obviously going to affect my ability to be making my autumn kit, because of course, you know, you need to be able to be constantly printing it out and seeing how it looks. So to say it's annoying is just a complete understatement. So yeah, zapping up a lot of my time, because obviously every time I am printing something, having all these problems where then the printer's not printing, you know, sometimes it might take me half an hour of powering the printer off, doing this, doing that, you know, before the printer actually prints. So it's really taken up a lot of my time. If I added up all the time, it's probably been like a day and a half of, you know, of my time. So it's really annoying. Right, okay, so that's my tags there. Now we're going to decorate one of them. Oh, plus I've got the two that I made first. So now I've brought along a bunch of bits and bobs here. So I have got some of my little floral note card pieces here. These are, they kind of coordinate with the Roses collection papers, but I thought these might be quite nice to decorate maybe one or two of these. So I'm just going to take that down like that. Now I printed these 2 to a page, but again, as you can see, the printer's not worked. It was supposed to print 2 on this page and it just printed 1. So I mean, again, it's kind of wasting paper and all sorts. So yeah, it's very frustrating. There we go. So I'm just going to cut this down. I'm now thinking actually these I probably could have had them full size instead of 2 to a page, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, it might be okay. Okay. I mean, that looks quite nice on there. And it looks quite nice even on that one, to be honest. It does look quite nice on there, actually. Do you know, I'm going to do this because sometimes I just think it's easy to just play everything safe, isn't it? And go with the, you know, very predictable, what you always kind of would, you know, expect yourself to do. Now I've also got my bright roses here, so I'm just going to see whether maybe I could kind of mix it with that. And these bright roses, this one, you do get a page with them this size, so I didn't have to kind of rejig it or anything. This was how these were. Now I'm just going to kind of cut this down here. Oops, like that. Okay. Ooh. Right. Yeah, I have been working on a new kit, and I'm talking like for the last 10 weeks, because obviously all the printer problems, I'm still not able to just like literally thoroughly print it out and, you know, get it looking right. I don't even think the printer's printing accurate colours, to be honest. It seems like it's printing, you know, very, very yellow. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with it, but it's not a good situation, especially not if, you know, if you're dependent on being able to print, you know, for your job. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's getting so hot, honestly. Oops. I mean, I don't have the window open in my actual room here because obviously it would be far too noisy traffic wise, but outside my room here there's a window on the, you know, on the landing, so I have that open, but my gosh, it's getting stifling, like to the point it's, yeah, it's going to be too hot to even be in here soon without the window open. So I'll have to just do some work, but no filming if I have the window open. So yeah. Okay. Oh gosh, now look what I've done. What an idiot. Right, well let's just use it like that. Right. Okay. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look so pretty? So I'm going to just ink up around the edge of the tag. Okay. Oops. That was weird, wasn't it? Picked it up as if that was already stuck down on there. Of course it wasn't, but felt like it was. And I will just ink the inside just while I've got it here. because obviously once I've decorated it, it'll just be, you know, less easy to get to. So we'll just quickly ink it up now. Okay, right, oops, like that. Okie dokie, let's ink this bit. Okay. And this one. Okay, right. Oh my goodness, I'm so boiling. Yeah, I'm just such a lightweight. I mean, I complain about the weather, whatever it's doing. So, yep, today it's the turn of the, you know, the hot weather. But yeah, honestly, the sun could go in and I'd be complaining how cold it was. So, yeah, just ignore me. It's probably not really that hot at all compared to most people's standards, you know, but I just don't seem to be able to regulate my body temperature. I'm either hot or cold. Hardly ever just right, you know, I'm either boiling or freezing. Oops, I'm just going to get my crocodile. Hold on a second, oops, read in my bag. Okay. Right. So let's just have a look. Now I'm thinking possibly a bit of lace. Now again, just like to try and pull in, you know, whatever I've got laying around. So I've got this. Oh my goodness, that's pretty, isn't it? So just take that down. Okay. Like that. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look gorgeous? Love it. Right, so I'm just going to hold that in place with my scissors. Then I'm going to just put this down. Now, just before I do, actually, just see whether I want to have the rosebud coming out behind it. Oops. Yeah, so I might just quickly glue the rosebud down first. There's that noise again. Like I say, I don't know whether that's, I don't know what it is, whether it's a hedge trimmer. I mean, there's not roadworks. Oh, do you know, I've just looked up and I can see over the road, like it's behind a wall, so I can't see. I can see a load of dust. So they're obviously, maybe someone's having like a new kitchen or something like that. And maybe they're sawing, you know, like with an electric saw, maybe they're sawing like worktop or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's really annoying, so I do apologise. Right, going to just use my hot glue, which will obviously in turn clamp that lace in place. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay. Oops. Oh, that was the leaf. Look, I thought that was some glue, and now look what I've done. Damaged the leaf. What a clumsy person I am being today. Terrible. Terrible. Not fit for crafting today. Absolutely shocking. Maybe that one there. So this one I'll probably put on with the hot glue instead of the wet glue, because it's going over sort of multiple different layers, you know, which are in turn obviously multiple different thicknesses. So like that. Okay, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Now, I feel like that could do with a butterfly or something as well. So I should have put the leaf on before gluing that down, because now I'm not going to be able to. Not going to really be able to put that in, am I? Right. What an idiot. What an idiot. Right, okay, well, we won't bother with that. Right, let me just hunt around for some butterflies. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So I've dug out a bunch of butterflies that I've been busy fussy cutting out recently. So all different colours here, and I've also got some labels and book plates and things like that, just in case we want any of those. So let's just see which colour would be best. I mean, this is quite pretty on here, to be honest. Or we could have like blue. This is where I find I've not got the right butterfly, even though I've got this whole bunch here ready. Need to obviously print more and cut even more out, would you believe? Oh dear, how annoying. Oh, that's quite good. Yeah, that one's lovely on there. So do we want it maybe there? Something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty. Now just see whether we want to have any, you know, book plate or anything like that. I mean, that one's quite pretty there, or got a number tab. Got these blue. Oh, they're quite pretty, aren't they? Because that's quite a good colour match with that, I think. So yeah, maybe have that there. Oh, actually, just before I put it there, just check that I wouldn't prefer it here. No, it's a bit strange there. Right, let's put this down. Okay. Okie dokie, that one. Okay, right. And then the butterfly there or there. It's quite nice there, actually. Let's have it that side. Okay, so again, just use the hot glue just for speed. I mean, that totally didn't need hot glue, but I don't know, just makes it nice and quick. And then what you can do is, obviously these are a booklet, so you want to make sure it's still openable. But if you want to put something in the top, I'd recommend just put it through one, you know, because otherwise you're going to have to kind of like undo it every time that you come to open it. So, but having said that, if you wanted to make this like a secret journaling space, then it might be quite nice to actually have it clamped shut and have to, you know, untie, because then it would be like secret in here. But if you're not, you know, not doing something secret, then maybe just like we're going to do here, just tie through just the first tag. So there we go. Oops. See, can't even tie a bow today. Well, couldn't even tie a knot. What am I talking about? Didn't even get to the bow, just couldn't even tie the knot at that point. So my gosh, what is going on with my crafting ability, or lack of, today? It's not good. Not good, not good. Right, there we go. So, and then shall we have a bit of bling just on here as well? So just get a little bit of bling right on there. Okay, so just get 3 or 4 of these. Just have that there, like that. Oops. So again, just going to hot glue this down. I'll say that, it's now not really coming out. There we go. Okay, there we go. Oh, now it's like the world's noisiest motorbike going by, so sorry. Right, and just then, again, and I talk about this all the time, but just a little dab of glue there. It's just going to hold the sari silk in place, and also, you know, it holds it then done up and prevents it, you know, coming undone. So yeah, it's just kind of like something I tend to do really when I've tied a bow. But there we go. Just want to check that I wouldn't like to have this layered up here. And that is quite pretty. It's not really the right colour, which is annoying. So yeah, I'll have to print some more butterflies if I want to do that, I think. So could have that down there. Oh, perhaps we'll put that there. Okay. So that's it, that's the finished tag. And then you've got your 2 pockets inside, one there, one there. And like I say, you could then glue this on like 3 sides and pop it down onto a page. So I don't have a journal here, but if I just pull in, you know, this bit of vintage document. So, you know, if this were a journal page, for example, that would just be then glued onto the page like that. And then of course, you know, you'd have it opening there. You could, you know, put a paper clip to hold it closed. You could tie some string or, you know, some more sari silk round, maybe like a, you know, a little oops, tied up middle. I don't know whether I'd do that as I've got the sari silk up there, although to be honest it looks quite pretty. It doesn't look too full on, does it? So yeah, you could do something like that. So really, really cute, aren't they? And like I say, I mean, they can be used in all different ways if you're, you know, paper clipping them in or popping them into a pocket, or, you know, having them as the pocket itself on the page. So how many did we do? 2, 4, 6. Oh no, hang on, I've got them stuck inside one another. So right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we did 9, which isn't too bad, because like I say, they are a little bit on the fiddly side, but probably, you know, probably worth fiddling around with. So really hope that you like them. Yeah, really appreciate it if you could give this video a big thumbs up. I hope that you've managed to craft along. Maybe you've made a ton of, you know, tag booklets as well. And yep, don't forget to keep your eyes peeled for the Tagtastic giveaway video, which I will have to be doing. So, but probably not right now because it's boiling in here. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.